Rotate your phone. You can't turn it off. Can't turn your phone off. Okay, there you go. Now it's on live.
We're on live?
Yes.
Alright. Hey guys, I'm Charles.
I'm Yusei.
Today we're going to talk to you about gamification and how it should, not how it should be, how it has been evolving over the past few years, where we think it's going to be going in the next few years. So, honestly, where do you think it's going to be going, Yusei?
I mean,
first, let's describe to them what gamification is for those out there that might not know.
Okay, so gamification is current trend that everything is like the things we have is trying to relate it to gaming. So for example, like today education, you can learn everything on tablet or like different on your phone. So like everything is being gamified. That's what it is.
So basically, like, to summarize up what he's saying, a lot of people, a lot of companies are moving towards gaming, in other words, to help people learn. There are educational games that are coming out, whether it be on your phone, tablets, gaming systems. There are also a lot of different companies that are using games to help teach their clients, to help teach their employees how to do their job better, or what to do or what not. It's also being used in medical fields, help people out with recuperating. Like, I know a big deal is people with Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
They're using virtual reality, putting them into like a game, kind of putting them in like a rubber room, so if they run into a wall, it doesn't hurt that much.
Mm-hmm.
But and what it's really doing is we're seeing people learn a lot faster through using games rather than just simply reading from a book. And the big thing with the people with like the Alzheimer's, I just use that as an example. We all know they have an issue keeping memory and forgetting things. So what it does is it's putting them in a constant environment where they're having to multitask and sending those signals to their brain, and it's actually helping them retain those signals and open those pathways back up. So now that they have a basic understanding, where do you think we're going to see it go? Or even more, where did gaming really start?
I mean, it started from like a Japanese company called Nintendo. They come up with a game called Atari, which is it's just like a ping pong gaming thing. And then it goes like Invaders.
Space Invaders.
Yeah, Space Invaders. And then it goes Pac-Man. And then it has been changed over time, and now we got PlayStation 4 or the VR thing. And the future of gamification, I would say, it depends on different countries. For example, I'm from Asia. I'm from Tokyo, Japan. But compared to United States, we're not digitalized, I would say. I mean, like, things you guys see is about like digitalized, all the gaming and all that stuff. But when it comes to education, we're more on the focus on books and all that, because we don't use computer unless you're going to high school. But here in United States, people know how to use computers since I would say elementary school.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I remember we've been using computers, smartboards since I was in 4th grade.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
we started learning how to type, and I was in kindergarten the first time I started using computers, and even then they were using gamification to a point. We had educational games. I can't remember what this game was, but you're like a little robot, traveled around. You had to do some math problems, and the more you did, the more you were able to build.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's been a big part, and it's just been growing ever since.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to put gamification into educational field. Yeah, it depends on like how much that each country is capable about new technologies. For example, I went to Australia when I was high school, and I was amazed to hear that like each high school student who goes to that high school provided the tablets and computers. And I was like, that's so cool,
Yeah,
in Japan, that would never happen. We have to use, we still have Blackboard, we have our textbooks, carry around.
Yeah, so, I know that's, like, a lot of school systems now, they're actually moving towards having a set tablet, or like a collection of tablets for a classroom, and each student will be using those because it's more efficient than having to go to the computer lab and going to look up all trying to find these websites when they can just sit in their classroom. So like it's really just been evolving. Like with technology, the games are getting more intricate and people are actually learning. Like there's a statistic out there, like I can't think of the number, but like there are like companies that use games simply like a lot of like doctor training. Like they play a game and it helps them retain, like they control the scalpels or whatnot, and they have to go in and actually perform the surgery like digitally, and then it helps them retain it. And then gaming also, a lot of gamers, they have better response rates. It helps them with like situations, that helps them make decisions faster. So I know that's another big thing that's going into it. It's making people act quicker, think more, look at different perspectives, along with obviously like the biggest thing I've heard is the Alzheimer's thing, where they're putting them in the VR, where they're making them go do stuff and multitasking. It's actually reawaking those nerve connections so that they don't have to live with that, and they're doing it for dementia also, which is just complete loss of memory, not just like steady. So,
well, should we respond to other comments, because they have seen?
We got some comments on here. What kind of comments do we got?
No, you just.
I don't even know where to look.
Oh, they joined.
Yeah, they joined.
Oh, sorry.
Good job, bud.
What up, guys?
How you guys doing?
Sorry. We're new here, so you know.
It's our first time on here. We're actually doing this for our digital media marketing class, so just bear with us. It might not be the most entertaining, but gamification is a very big deal. It is something that's been evolving over the last few years, and it's something we talk about a lot. So what this is really doing is letting us know really how much we actually know about it.
Exactly.
Because it's a big part of marketing. Like, actually, that helps me retrace a little bit. Like I know in games, when it comes to marketing, people are actually starting to advertise within games. Like I know, like Skate 3, for example. I know Monster Energy is always all over there. I know like football games, you got Dr. Pepper, I believe, or some other things. And then like open world games like Grand Theft Auto, people have been looking.
That's the one I'm coming up with. Yeah,
people have been like thinking about going in and just advertising based on what area you're in the world, like commercializing. Like there will be a billboard up and it'll have like a real advertisement that people can go and follow up later on. So like where do you think you would be seeing it here soon?
Well, that's a really good question, but I have no idea. You know, all the technologies are so unpredictable. You know.
Yeah, it's been growing so much.
Yeah, so much and so fast.
Like honestly, like I'm not really sure what much else we could do with it, but people just keep coming out with new and better ways to do things.
Yeah, one thing for sure is that all the gamification, we don't realize it, but it's, you know, it's so familiar to us. You know, all the games, or I just said GTA, Grand Theft Auto, you know, or the skateboard games, and there's ads everywhere. You just don't realize it. So,
like, especially in like, it's as simple as like your NBA games. You have your Nike or your Adidas in there, and while it may be simple and subtle, yeah, they sponsored it, but it's still a form of gamification. It's a form of marketing within a game. And then, so outside of the marketing, there's also like teaching, which we talked about earlier, which is really phenomenal. You don't think about it, but as you play the game, you just learn more and more as you proceed. So that's really a big deal.
Yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. So how long do we talk to?
We gotta do 15 minutes.
How long did it pass?
Oh, good
Sorry,
job,
guys. Sorry.
So, like, what kind of... But I know you guys don't have much of, like, technology base when it comes to, like,
education
learning.
Or learning, yeah, true.
But, like, where do you think you might have seen it over in Japan?
We do have computers in our junior highs. We don't have computers in elementary school, but in junior high school we have computers, and you know, we just, you know, do the basic stuff like how to type keyboards and all that. So that's why there's a difference between here and, you know, back in Japan, because you guys know how to do the typing like while you're in elementary school.
Exactly.
On the other hand, we learn how to type, you know, in junior high. So I don't know. I feel like Japan should more, you know, be like you guys, you know.
That's a first. Normally, Japan's the front runner of all technology.
Yeah, but we more focus on, you know, try to avoid all the temptations. Because if you are be able to use computers, it's like you can, you know, do the, you know, you can search everything, you know.
Yeah.
You can play games on computers, but pretend that you're learning and all that, you know.
That's
Japanese
definitely something
people,
we would do in
you know,
class.
right? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So you guys have to study harder to, you know, find a better job or, you know, to make yourself better in Japan. So you can't. It's hard, you know.
But at the same time,
that's what I feel like. That's why.
At the same time, we always had blocks, and the loophole we would always find. There are like actual like learning websites. Like I remember the biggest one we used to always go to is Cool Math. Well, yeah, we'd be playing some stupid games, but at the same time, like there's kind of like a physics base in it. Like I remember there's one game like you hitting the gas. Yeah, the more gas you hit, the more throttle there is. So you have to learn to balance it out. Or then there's like a lot of the games are like trivia based, or really it just works with like how are you viewing things. Like I know there's one, the world's hardest game. You got like a little dot you got to get through, but it doesn't seem like that much. But like thinking back on it, it teaches you how to like see scenarios in full and like figure out the path you have to go through. So like it may be subtle, but at the same time it is training your mind.
That's a good example for gamification.
But like those really are like those were the games we would just like go play in school. But I understand where you're coming from. Like you guys don't use them at an earlier age simply so you actually pay attention in class and don't pretend like you're doing something.
You know, if there's a will, there's a way. So if there, you know, if you're trying to look for it, there's always a games that you can play, even though there's like the system that blocks it from it. You know.
And like I remember there were even like typing games. Like I remember we used to play Typing Shark. Like that's a form of gamification. Like little sharks would be coming down or swimming across, and you had to type the word before they got across, otherwise you lose. And like that's something like we would actually like compete with that in class. So like we'd be going crazy. So like a lot of us would actually learn to type really fast and accurately.
Yeah, that's something we can do in Japan. Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's like they integrate it a lot more than you would really think. So it's been a big deal here in America. Like. We're moving away from the standard textbooks and lecture, and we're moving towards videos and like we've been talking about games, gamification. Like it's growing, it's there for sure.
Right.
Like, there are more efficient ways than just to sit and read a textbook while you're there in class or whatnot. So realistically, I feel like it's going to take off. It already has, but just more so, especially with the tablets going into schools. More access to computer labs, more areas are getting better connection and getting better ideas on what to do with their games.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I think gamification will be the future of it. All that, you know. Come to think about it, that Toys R Us is having hard time trying to make more profit out of it because all the online retailers on the tablets are taking over it. So I think the future, children, no longer play with their toys anymore. They have their own tablets.
Yeah,
they have to figure out, that
the younger generation, they're all about playing games on their some sort of electronic platform, and that is taking away from the basic like go outside, have fun, go experience things for yourself. But at the same time, if we can just integrate like a learning system into these games. That won't necessarily be a bad thing. Yeah, they might be to a point antisocial if you want to get that extreme with it. But at the same time, if we can integrate learning in the sense of gamification into all these games that the kids are playing on their tablets, on their DSs, on their phones, like kids are getting phones at such a young age. Like, what would happen if they made like a parental setting like? Hey, they had to do something, like they have to use their head and figure something out to get on, like have like a math problem or something to go into the phone. Like, it sounds crazy, but at the same time, I feel like it's something that would really help. So, well, guys, I think that about sums it up.
Yep.
Is that about all you got from this?
I mean, yeah, we just kind of summarized.
Realistically, we could go on forever about it because it is never ending. There are endless possibilities for gamification. So
exactly.
Honestly, I feel like gamification it's gonna keep growing. Technology's growing, gaming's growing, and then people are implementing not only marketing strategies but also learning strategies into their games, into phone systems. Like it's gonna happen. It's gonna stay around. So. Well,
that's it for today, guys.
I'm Charles.
I'm Music Guevara.
Thank you for your time. You guys have a good day.